Hey guys, what's going on? It's Eli with Little Blue, and yeah, he's back a bit early because I did say that he would be showing up before the end of Halloween, but no, he'll be doing a couple, so before the big thing, the big one we're saving for last. So you'll find out. You'll find out soon when that comes. But we are reviewing, after, like, say, last time we did the Mini Monsters, now we're reviewing another thing that's 70s and animated and such, and actually, that was at the end of the decade of the 1970s.
Right.
Which being the Misadventures of Ichabod Crane, and in 1979, and again, near the end of the 1970s.
Yes.
So, what do we have to say about this? And as we record this, we gave it a full watch last night. So.
It was a typical 70s animated cartoon to me. Everything about it just screamed 70s. The music, the animation style.
Yeah.
Interesting story, for what it was worth.
Yeah.
But I've always been fascinated by the story of, Ichabod Crane and, the headless, Sleepy Hollow.
The legend of Sleepy Hollow.
Exactly. The Headless Horseman.
Oh, yeah.
Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera.
Yes, yeah. And because of the voices of the characters, like Kreskin, who voices Ichabod, the amazing
Kreskin.
magician is...
Magician, yes.
Yeah, he voices Ichabod, and even got some well-known voice actors, Pat Buttram and George Lindsay.
Yes,
they've done a lot of Disney animated films. Or they're in the same.
Green Acres and Andy Griffith Show represented. Pat
Buttram and Green Acres.
Mr. Haney
and George Lindsay. George Lindsay was in Andy Griffith.
George Lindsay was Goober in Andy Griffith. Yes.
Okay.
He played Goober.
Right. Okay. Yeah. So, and again, they've been in. They've been in a lot of Disney films, from the Aristocats, Robin Hood, and the Rescuers.
Yeah, absolutely.
The two dogs from the Aristocats, and in Robin Hood, Pat Buttram, the sheriff, and George Lindsay, one of the vultures, Trigger. So, and in the Rescuers, George Lindsay was a rabbit, and Pat Buttram was Luke. So,
right.
And so they're in this, like Pat Buttram is the voice of Washington the horse, and George Lindsay, Wolf, who's a dog. So, and you also have a well-known figure too, Rip Van Winkle, known for sleeping for many years.
Yeah.
So, and voiced by Larry D. Mann. And I point this out to you. Larry D. Mann is best known, for those of you, best known for being the voice of, I should say, for being the voice of Yukon Cornelius in Rankin and Bass's Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer. So, and he voices Rip Van Winkle in this.
Interestingly enough, I was watching a thing, and this does not pertain to this, but it's along the lines of voice characterizations. I was reading about Ted Cassidy. I was watching a video on him on YouTube. Lurch, and we're talking about the fact that he had voiced
and done a couple of Star Trek roles in Star Trek.
Yeah, he'd done 3 roles in Star Trek.
Yeah,
as a character actor, he did. He actually voiced
and had such an iconic voice. You need to say, yeah.
The roar from
the Incredible Hulk.
The Incredible Hulk was actually him, and he narrated the opening sequence of the TV series.
And he did all that before he passed away.
Yeah, he did. He also did. Voice in The Rock in the Fantastic Four.
Yeah, The Thing.
The Rock. Listen to me. I couldn't think of his name. I should have just said. The Thing. I feel like Paul Frees at one point voiced The Thing as well. Yeah. So, but he was.
But what about Ted Cassidy?
We was just talking about some of the voice characterizations he had done, and actually started on radio down in Texas. He interviewed some of the first eyewitnesses to JFK's assassination, which that was pretty fascinating. But I just thought of him as we're doing this because of the fact that he had done some cartoon characters, and
and he did pass away in like the late 80s, late 70s.
Yeah, they did feature his little cameo in Batman
as Lurch.
Only time he did it in color too.
Yeah, but jumping back to the Misadventures of Ichabod Crane.
Of course.
So, and the others, like there's the mayor and Selma Van Damme, who's a witch. And I think she's the one in disguise as the Headless Horseman.
Right.
Yeah. So apparently, because I remember hearing this, like, because we see that at the beginning. We see her, like, disguised as the Headless Horseman. But, we should have, maybe I've heard this because I've seen this before, they should have, like, not have that in, and instead, like, kind of have a scene where, Ichabod and he forms with his group, from Washington Wolf and Rip Van Winkle, because literally when we cut to them, they're just there, there was no like introduction or anything, like, oh, here's our main cast, here's our team, so
Sure.
I mean, what do you think to what I just said?
Yeah, absolutely, I agree.
No, go ahead.
It was an interesting plot, for a cartoon.
It was, and I don't know if you noticed this, but like there's one point where Ichabod turns into the Headless Horseman, I guess of magic or something.
Yeah.
Did you notice that? Because we watched it.
Yeah.
Okay, and it seemed like this. Did it to me, or like this looked like it was like a series. It would have been a series,
Could have been.
But it was just a one thing.
Yeah, it was a one-off, and they
maybe kind of the same thing with, like, say, the Mini Monsters.
Mm-hmm. That maybe it was talked about. Maybe it was they tested it to see how it would do, and they said nah.
not that great, not that much to it. But overall, this was okay. What do you think?
It was okay. I give it out of 10. I'd give it 5.
Oh yeah, and because one thing, Larry D. Mann, because him voicing Rip Van Winkle, his voice sounds a bit different. Even aside from voicing Rip Van Winkle, because we know how he voiced Yukon Cornelius.
Correct.
Yeah, but and because this was a decade after Rudolph's,
Yeah, well, it was the actor of the man. He was able to just do different voices like that. So
probably so.
But you can still pick up on the core voice, just like with Mel Blanc.
Yeah.
You can always tell when Mel Blanc is voicing a character. He has that distinct sound to his voice.
Even up to the late 80s, the last few times he was voicing the characters.
Sure.
Yeah. And if you remember, like, there's some parts where, like, one part where, like, Velma, like, captures Rip Van Winkle and, like, messes around and transforms him into different animals.
Right.
I think you remember that.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. But overall, The Misadventures of Ichabod was okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. And how do we rate this?
Like I said, 5 out of 10.
5 out of 10. There you go. And this was overall, this was okay. And yeah, this was just a one thing, as we were saying. Yeah. Just like with the Mini Monsters that we previously reviewed.
Sure.
Yep. So you guys let us know what you think. And, hey, it is on YouTube. So we watched it on YouTube.
Right.
So there you go. So that's that. And again, you guys let us know what you thought of our reviews. Leave comments, give it a like as always. And if you've seen this. And any last words?
I must be off.
He says that. For me, hope you enjoyed our review of the missing adventures of Ichabod Crane. And how did we rate this again?
5 out of 10.
Okay, I'll give it 6. So,
okay.
6 out of 10 for me.
5 out of 10 for me.
Okay. Well, there you go. 5 out of 10 for you and 6 out of 10 for me. More reviews coming your way. Keep looking forward. They're going to be awesome. And we'll see you guys in the next review we'll see you in the next video /review. Said that backwards. And we're, of course, continuing on with reviewing Halloweenish films, and Little Blue will be back soon for a couple more. Yep. And especially because what we're saving for at the very end of this month.
Right.
Do you know what it is?
Yeah, I know.
You'll see. Take care, and peace out.